Okay, it's a great evening here. We've been over several obstacles. So the weather, for one, is like working in our favor. And the second one is obviously electricity. So Eskom undertook not to cut the power for the next 2-3 hours. And yeah, then it's like, stage fright and anxiety for singing. I mean, what the hell? And then speaking publicly, obviously, and then speaking and singing publicly on Zoom. I mean, really, what more can you ask for? I had to change the program, and obviously, Afrikaans-speaking people will understand that. I mean, there's a lot of English-speaking people online. We've got about 11 countries. I can't check right now, but this 11 countries supposed to be online. So therefore, the last part, we're definitely going to switch more to Afrikaans. So take that. And then I also have to make a change. So we've got a special request and a very limited time to have this person on board. And if I now say masterpiece, I'm talking about a global organization and guys who pull together like 40, 50, 60 countries, delegates, representatives on an annual basis. So I was fortunate to be part of them. 2019, we went to Tunisia and we went into the Sahara Desert. And, they've got all sorts of global awards. What are they doing? Peace initiatives. And they will use music, art, dialogue, sport, etc. So we've got the founder and president in the Netherlands. Dion, can you just confirm? Art Bos, is he online there? Art, can you just unmute yourself, video and mic, please?
Hello, Nico. Happy to join.
Fantastic. Art, you've got a couple of minutes. Please share with us. And this is also being recorded.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Happy to share, let's say, that I do have the best job in the world, being end responsible for Masterpiece. That is the most rewarding, and I will explain in a bit. The peace in Masterpiece is not about the absence of war, but it's about the presence of democratic values, of equality, because the lack of equality is, I think, a root case of extremism, violence, and in the broader sense in all the continents. What we do is our mission in life is to mobilize talents on all the world, and I'm really deeply convinced that with the positive we can outnumber the negative, so it takes you and me. It's not to be outsourced to a government or the UN to solve this inequalities. There's no big one solution. It takes you and me in small steps. What we do is in 3 steps. Our focus activities. This is, as Nico says, using music, art, play to inspire and mobilize youngsters, but also the power of music or theater or dance. It brings self-esteem and reconciliation and healing, which is necessary, I think, for the second step, to have a dialogue. Also have a dialogue with the other. One of our framing is dialogue above judgment, which is very complex. But as you know, as a country that puts a lot of focus in reconciliation, let's say this is key. And in the dialogue, we try to create perspective. Nico, I also read about the Huguenot College. I don't know whether I pronounce it rightly, because in Dutch it's Huguenot College. But the mission of the Huguenot College and Masterpiece is the same: to create, to support youngsters to become a servant leader. When I draw it in Zoom, it's the pyramid upside down. I'm at the bottom of the pyramid. I tried my team and the global network, they try to support youngsters the best way they can. to offer them a perspective, to be a listening ear, to help them on trainings, to become a social entrepreneur, to become a leader, a change maker in the local community. Because I truly believe it's about local ownership in the communities. And Nico, you had a great peace walk. And let's say one of our role models is Nelson Mandela. And we created a campaign. You can also be a Mandela. You can also be a Nelson, because you have talents. Recognize the talents in yourself, create self-esteem, and go for it. So it's not about just outsourcing and waiting till the others do, but it's about you and me. It's about creating self-esteem, perspective, and act on it. And I think that's the most crucial part, that youngsters stand up and we help them to stand up and try to make the world a little bit better, a better place in each township, in each city. And we do this in more than 40 countries, as Nico says, and also to create a network of the like-minded, that you don't feel left alone, but we are in it together. And it is so, let's say, rewarding to learn from youngsters in Nepal, in New Delhi, in Kathmandu, in Medellin, and in South Africa, that they want to create together a better future, and to do it better than, let's say, the people of my age. So I'm really inspired by your initiative, Nico, with the Street Biz Foundation and the Huguenot College. And I think I'm proud to co-create, and I wish you a great event. And Nico, I didn't know that your singing qualities was that level. So a big compliment to you, and thank you for the invite.
Oh, thank you so much. And before you go, because I know you have another meeting, guys, the person that you've just listened to, I've got so much respect for him. Got awards on a global level from United Nations, etc. I don't want to go into that. But his wife, Marcella, is also into this. And she organized and invited me on this walk in Nepal with 20 global leaders of social innovation. This kind of exposure, I'll get back to that later, not now, because this is what it's all about, where we're busy with now. But what people like Art, really Art, Farhat in Pakistan, a good friend, probably online. Ray Mwanza in Zambia, a brother.
Hey, Ray.
Sudipta in Calcutta, you've mentioned Calcutta. Sudipta, we communicate on a regular basis. So what you're doing is creating a family working for peace. It's like synergy and bringing people together for peace initiatives.
Yeah.
Not just complaining. It's just like so proactive. I've got a lot of respect and appreciation. Thanks, Art, for your time as well.
Thank you so much.
Regards to Marcella.
Thank you so much. Wish you a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Art. Cheers. Isn't that wonderful? Really. He's such a great guy. I mean, yeah, I can elaborate on that so much. But the great respect. So you will see Masterpiece, the logo is like on the screen right now, and it's like featuring everywhere, because Masterpiece and Street Biz Foundation, the little one that I've started in South Africa, is like gelled, it's synergized with the work at Huguenot College. Art, if you're still online, Huguenot College is Afrikaans and Huguenot College is the English, very close to each other. In the little town Wellington, it's about 40 kilometers from Stellenbosch, and the University of Stellenbosch, working close together. So let's get to something that really make you like pop into your imagination. Johan, artist, singing and words. So there's a catch in this song that you probably all know. You all know this song, but there's a catch in this one. Where it began, I can begin to know it, but then I know it's growing strong. Wasn't the spring, and spring became a summer. Who would believe you'd come along? Hands, touching hands, reaching out, touching me, touching you. Sweet Wellington, la la la, good times never seem so good. I've been inclined to believe they never would, but now sweet Wellington, good times never seem so good. Sweet Caroline. Got to bring Caroline in somewhere. Oh man, Wellington, Wellington, Wellington. I don't want to leave this to the end. I really want to express my thanks, gratitude, appreciation to the owners of Perfect Place. I mean, when I saw the place, I couldn't pass. I mean, I had to stop. Then I went inside. The owner, I met her here, but her husband is a very good friend of mine, you know, Benny. And then I've met also the other owners, Vicky and Elanza, here with us tonight. Thank you so much for your place, the venue. Appreciate. And then Dion, I mean, the technical guy, team manager, whatever he's a whole team on his own. Dion Diederik's here for the technical side, setting up all of this. I don't want to leave the thanks till the last. Sometimes you can just forget it. So, okay, so what is this all about? I'll have to share with you, and there must be a couple of personal stories in this as well. And I have to, you know, be at the position of being transparent and share stories. And I want to tell why and what it is about. So obviously this is about, you know, explaining Huguenot College, what we are busy with at the School for Social Innovation, what we are busy with. And I'll get to that, and we're going to have it on the screen. But before that, this is a story. I'm going to take you on a pilgrimage. So pilgrimage is you start here and you end there. So I'm going to start with what this is all about. And then we're going to go, okay, what is Huguenot College, what is School of Innovation all about, and the rest. And the Andrew Murray Center for Spirituality, that's part of the journey. And then we have to put it into the bigger picture. What is social entrepreneurship all about? You know, and then songs, working songs in as we travel. Because a Camino, a pilgrim, there's always fun. If it's just a lecture, you're missing out on the fun. If it's just academic and it's just a burden, no, that's not a pilgrimage. Pilgrims will always socialize as well. If you haven't seen the movie The Way, that's a very good one to watch. So we're going to look at the college, the schools, the Andrew Murray Center for Spirituality, social entrepreneurship, and then we're going to go to the Long Walk book, and then we're going to go to the global society. Why is the global society so important? And the foundations involved. And I need to share something about the pilgrimage then. And then the last section, I mean, obviously by then probably there will be nobody left somewhere. I'll get to my mum's song and, you know, my daughter's song, more personal stuff. And at the end, we will also do more Afrikaans songs than right now. So, story, I mean, story. This is a story. It's about a travel story, a journey story. Dion, you will just cut whenever I take a sip from the red wine so that it's not global. Okay. A story. The story of your life, the story of my life, the story of Brandy Carlisle. All of these lines across my face tell you the story of who I am. So many stories where I've been, and now I got to where I am. But these stories don't mean anything when you got no one to tell them to. It's true, I was made for you. My mind was with that guy with a motorbike just passing. I trust yours as well. I missed my motorbike. I climbed across the mountain tops, swam all across the ocean blue. I crossed all the lines, I broke all the rules, but baby, I broke them all for you. Because even when I was flat broke, you made me feel like $1,000,000. You do. I was made for you. You see the smile that's on my mouth. It's hiding the words that don't come out. And all of my friends who think that I'm blessed, well, they don't know my head is a mess. No, they don't know who I really am. No, they don't know what I've been through like you do. I was made for you. All of these lines across my face tell you the story of who I am. So many stories where I've been, and now I got to where I am. But these stories don't mean anything when you got no one to tell them to. It's true, I was made for you. It's true, I was made for you. So what is this all about? Story. And I have to pick stories to share with you. But yeah, I've got a lot of friends, and I'm not sure who's from where online, and we are from different religions, but we respect each other. And therefore I can talk as a Christian, and they know me personally, so they know we can discuss religion without being offensive to each other. For instance, exactly with this art boss, you know, from Netherlands, Utrecht. He's from Utrecht. And, you know, he, the opportunity that they've provided, it worked like this. My roommate in Tunisia, in North Africa, was from Pakistan, and he's a medical doctor from Pakistan. And now listen to this. He's from the Baha'i religion. Baha'i religion is related, but they're not Muslims. And we really connected. We became the best of friends. And so I can go on and on and on. Sudipta down in India is Calcutta. He's Hindu. He invited me to the Gandhi Salt Walk. Okay, so what am I saying? You become friends. You've got global friends. They invite you. They bring you in. They give Nico de Klerk so many and so much exposure that I actually came to a standstill, and I thought, what's this all about? Where's this coming from? So what I believe is, this is given to me, and I have to share it. I have to share it with where it counts the most in South Africa. I really have to work on that. I have to focus on that. And that means changing my life, changing the course of my life, and a couple of other things. So whatever I'm saying, what I'm doing, is nothing to do with Nico de Klerk. And I'll give you another example. Last year, got stuck in America. You know, it's a nice place to get stuck. I mean, really, it's really a nice place, especially with the host that I have. the Shangala family, Nancy. And, but although it was like fantastic, I couldn't complain. I couldn't say one word. You know, it's this mental thing. You can't return to your home country. I've got a grandson now and you can't get home. And it's become the 1 month after the other. So you go on a walk in the woods next to the canal, and I speak and I say, dear Lord, you know, please show me the way. I need something and I need it now. You see that bridge over there, like 500 meters? Before that bridge, I need to get a sign that I will be okay, that I can just carry on because I need to focus now on the book. This is now the part of the personal story. So what happened? What happened? About 200 meters further, as I was walking, I saw this little rock in the grass, and there was something written on it, but I've passed it because, you know, I'm on my own business. And I turned around and I went back and I looked at it, and I saw, okay, there's something written on it. And then I walked further. And then I came to a standstill. I realized, but that's actually for me. I was like, just ask now. I was just now asking for something. What more do you want? You know, do you want the Lord to put a paper here in front of your face? I mean, so this is the rock, and I picked it up. And I'm now obliged to show this and share this and say, you know, this is how alive spiritual life can become, you know. And on this little rock, there's like, be you. And it's a message that I really needed at that stage. And why I'm sitting here and why I'm doing what I'm doing and what am I doing is I can take so many ways of, you know, sharing that with you. But let me summarize. You do this walk of nearly 3,000 kilometers through South African townships. That's also research. Ask me about, okay, so what happened? What did you learn? Let me share the highlight. The youth, with no exception, at the age of 16, 17, they're all sending the same message to us. And that message was later formulated like this. Now listen to this and tell me, what do you think of it? The message is this: please tell the older generation, that's now including me, please tell the older generation to let go of their grudges. Please tell the older generation to come to peace, so that you can use that energy and money and time to create opportunities for us, because we see what's going on outside, but we can't get there. Wil julle dit in duideliker woorde hoor? Wil julle dit Afrikaans ook hoor? Dat die jeug uit die townships uit reg deur die Suid-Afrika se boodskap is naderhand gecentralised na die woorde: asseblief los julle konflikte en julle nonsens en maak vrede met mekaar, sodat daai tyd en energie gebruik kan word om vir ons brûe te skep, to create bridges for us to get out of the townships. We were born here. We didn't ask for this. This is the outcome of the apartheid legacy. Some of us is not actually asking to get out because we are afraid to get out. That's a difficult story when a 16-year-old tells you, like in a township in KwaZulu-Natal, 50 kilometers into this townships, you know, at schools. And this one 16-year-old girl turned my life. She rocked me with these words. When she looked at me at the third workshop, only the third visit, she spoke for the first time and she said, "Sir, do you realize you are the first white man I'm talking to in my life?" And then I thought, is this like the majority or what's going on? And I can tell you that's the majority. And what changes it will... That's a 1,100 cc motorbike. If in train, it could be a Honda. Anyway, what I'm saying is, how many lives can you change by just having contact, and building bridges in different ways. And that's why the online school and this and that, and I'll get to the projects later on. I just need to share with you the story. Where is all of this coming from? A lot is coming my way, and I feel the responsibility to share. That is what it's about. And I couldn't think of a more appropriate song to share with you than the one coming home, you know, the prodigal son, die verlore seun. Seeing that there are people here from the Free State, from my first congregation, and when I got out of church, and I had to go to walk like a long way and experiment. Oh, I love the word experiment. Became a member of a lot of things and a lot of detours, I would say, and then also to see how, you know, there was actually a plan in all of this, it seems to be. Anyway, there goes the song. Here I am, just a poor man, before still by the knowledge of the riches I've squandered. Oh, I've wondered. I stand convicted even knowing that the deepest of my wounds was self-inflicted. Where did my heart go? Where have I been? You have opened my eyes to the darkness and lies, and I've shut them again. And I wanna go home to my Father. I wanna be part of where my heart says I belong. I wanna wash my weary soul in living water. I've been away way too long. I wanna go home. I've been away way too long. I wanna go home. Out on the boundaries of my freedom, I was looking for fences that will keep me in, and I found there were none. Only your sweet love, Lord, fool that I've been. You broke the chains to my heartache and pain, and I forged them again. And I wanna go home to my Father. I wanna be part of where my heart says I belong. I wanna wash my weary soul in living water. I've been away way too long. I wanna go home. Now, so Ned, before getting to the Huguenot College and Andrew Murray's Center for Spirituality, what was going through my mind while I'm doing this song? The American people. For what they've did to me, not only now, what they were prepared to share with me, their hospitality, their kindness, their openness, the way in how they appreciate each other. You know, they will, yeah, let me put it this way. If you do something, they will say to each other, you know, Pascal, if I may use you as an example, I really want to thank you, for being here. You won't know what it means to me. I mean, it's like, I have to find ways to express my appreciation. It's fantastic, and so on. Johan, Kobus, etc. This is how they will do it. They will almost like create you. You're a bit uncomfortable. In South Africa, it is like Donkey word, cheers. You know, it's just like, thank you, and there you go. So you become aware of these things whenever, you know, when you have to stay among them, and it's endlessly, it's gifts. All the time, it's gifts. And I can promise you that Nancy is now laughing there because I couldn't believe what I'm seeing. How the gifts, we have to deliver gifts. I nearly felt like you know, let me not say what. I have to get out of the car and deliver gifts everywhere. Fantastic culture, open, abundance, willing to share. And I'll get to the foundations being involved here. I will mention them. Do you have them ready now or not? All right, while I'm speaking or while I'm singing, you will see foundations, ASAP, and Educated Zebra and Kettering. Kettering Foundation is a massive, massive foundation at the Institute for Democracy. But ASAP is Adopt a South African Preschool. Adopt South African Preschool. You know, it's like, this is what they do. On the Camino, they've spent like $55,000 last year, the pilgrims. Educated Zebra. They are involved with me on a personal level, on a structural level, in Zambia, in other places. And, you know, it's the initiative sometimes of one or two persons, and they're working close together with Sunette sitting over there. Sunette's running with a program that they call HOOP, H-O-E-P. Sunette, just say again what it stands for. Heaven on Earth Project. Also preschool orientated. Now we're only preschool. You know, can you imagine what's happening when we get to... Here's the song for all the Americans. Mark and Jen across the street. My dear. Nancy. All the people at Princeton. Prince from India. Colin, Thomas, you know, obviously my colleague there, Professor Lee, currently, I owe her so much, her husband, David. Here's a song for you guys. A word of thanks from the heart. And I know we'll see. I was treated like a king by each and every one. Second homes at Princeton and Yardley as colleagues. Rest assured, I do miss you as I stroll through the woods. As I came to my country, I had a message for them. Whenever you meet an American, just be good to all of them. Rest assured, I do miss you as I stroll through the woods. As I came to my country, I had a message for all of them. Whenever you meet an American, just be good to all of them. I see faces and names, and it's just too many to mention, but appreciation from a South African. Thank you. They've obviously put me in contact with so many people and connected me with so many people. And I remember the words of Professor Lee when she greeted me in 2014 at Princeton. And she told me, Nico, go develop your voice. And she didn't obviously mean like singing, but this is part of the voice. The voice grew into Street Biz Foundation, into the walk. It's still growing into the book. Now, Huguenot College And University of Stellenbosch, please don't forget them, Frederick Marais by name. You know how they've created space for me, living in Andrew Murray's house, working with PhD students, etc., etc. So it is gratitude, but it's a mission. So therefore, there will also be like a monthly talk, a get together, and where we grow together in our awareness and how to move forward with all of this. If we can get on the screen, Dion, Huguenot College. Just tell me when you're ready there. But Huguenot College, now I'm sharing a space and a platform with, shall I say, a famous person, Professor Erwin Schweller. He's well known. He's basically, I think 3 times on the radio every day, but being consulted as a public leadership expert. So he used to be at the business school, head of public leadership, and then after his retirement, started with the School for Social Innovation at the Huguenot College. And this is like, it's opening up. It's going all sorts of places. Because how do you, it's one thing if you say mindset, how do I change my mindset? And each of us can tell a story how we changed our mindset. But now, if you want to work with a family, with a community, if you want to work with a cultural group, and if you want to work with we as a nation, you know, it's going different steps. How do you change mindset on a national level? So the one thing that we share is to have the School for Social Innovation as a hub, a social innovation hub. Is it on there, Dion? Is it on? Okay. If there's one thing that Professor Erwin Schweller and myself that we share, how to take the Huguenot College to become a social hub and a global hub in this world.
Hello. Hello.
Words to renew your thinking, to just think about yourself or see anything else in a new way, to change your self-talk. That's innovative. You know, the School for Good Governance. Let's start with the corruption. Everybody knows about the corruption and fraud. We know it's an epidemic. It's like a sickness. We can do something about it. We don't have to accept it. And we don't have to scream on Facebook. That's the most pathetic way of raising your voice. Join at Integritas. There it is. Contact me afterwards for contact details, more information. This is all in the process of development. Integritas is all about integrity. Building integrity is the way to fight corruption. Fighting for peace, like Art Boss that you've listened to earlier, is the most effective way to fight against war. If you're going to wait till a war breaks out, then you've got to fight. No screaming is going to... But if you work before the war breaks out... So my message will be to people, I fully agree with you, complaining, moaning, groaning, and so on, but what are you doing? When will you get the message? So that made me think of, how the Lord communicates. By giving me all these blessings and, all this exposure and so on, I can think, I'm smart. No, the Lord decided, let's give this oak something and see how he reacts. You know what? And then suddenly I realized, but it's not me. It can't be me. There must be something bigger going on here. And what I've sort of visualized is, the Lord looked at me and he said, hey, this guy's getting the message. Look, he's going to share it now with people. Look at that walk after the Camino. I blessed him with the Camino. Now he's going to do this walk. My. Hey, guys, come look here. This okay? He's clever. He got the message. Yeah, look at that. I really think the Lord was happy with that. So I walked this nearly 3,000 kilometers, no blister, no stomach, no headache, nothing. I didn't even open the medical kit. But then you have to sort of, be able to make some adjustments. And for some reason, same with Thomas Merton, I must confess, he's like picking sometimes the naughty guys to do this. I don't know why. But I'm not going to share that with you. We don't know each other that well. Let me rather sing a prayer. Yeah, let's go for that. Oh, so the Americans became very crazy about Koos Du Plessis' gebed, okay? So I thought, well, they don't understand a word. Maybe I should just translate it for them or into British. So let's see how it goes. They liked it, especially for Nancy, Mark, and Jen, my barbecue, my bridesmaids there. Will you always keep me close, Lord? Ag, gaan we sien, hoe gaan hy nou weer? Tussen die Afrikaans en die Engels. Oeg, moet ek die wysie kry hierso. Will you always keep me close, Lord? Let me wander in your shadow. Let me praise you in my joy and sorrow. Let me always praise thy name. I've been on so many detours. I got lost in every jungle. Yet each time you think it hits me, dear Lord, with my assurance it's the last. Shall we soar to higher heights, Lord? Shall I hide under your wings? That will keep me from getting lost again. Till I learn how simple it is. Let's make this our victory round, Lord. Let's restore your honor, Lord. Use me as your voice and tool, dear Lord. Let me praise thy holy name. Let's make this our victory round, Lord. Let's restore your honor, Lord. Use me as your voice and tool, dear Lord. Let me praise thy holy name. So if we now go to the last section there, it's still on there on the screen. The Andrew Murray Retreat Center and Spirituality Center. I just want to bring that to your attention. And that photos, maybe you can show the photos of that, if that can scroll. And so the Andrew Murray Center for Spirituality. Now this is where Andrew Murray himself and his wife Emma, where they've stayed. And then 100 yards from that, 100 meter, né? From his house, you've got the big building. Also, that's the house there on the screen, Andrew Murray House, and there's also a photo of his study there, and in the front, and then they will see the bigger. There's the building where he did the education of, educators, social workers, etc. So there's a whole atmosphere and a space there. Please come for a visit. I would like to show you this whole area. So now, today, there's a retreat center. There's chapel services. It's open for the community as well. It is 7 o'clock in the mornings, 12 o'clock midday, and 6 o'clock in the evenings. It's there's a lot of silence and meditation is part of it. It's like for 20 minutes or so. But it's creating a rhythm, a very funny creating rhythm that I really think it's got an effect. So people come there to study, to write, to do research. People come there to just like relax, do their own retreat, and groups are coming there, congregations or commissions or committees coming there. It's becoming very popular. It is fantastic standard. So this is a Andrew Murray Retreat Center and chapel and everything else. The PhD Athenaeum, that is just people busy with their PhDs. Like Pascal here, for instance, she's now in her final year of her PhD. And the one group after the one others coming there. So I've now also been contacted by the University of Stellenbosch for guidance and coaching for these oaks, because research methodology and all these things, there's no need for everybody to fight their own war. If we come together, there's a lot of synergy in working with groups. There's also a theology department here at at the Huguenot College. So Dr. Annette Potgieter is a fantastic, brilliant academic, cum laude from Germany. I mean, and she's so young. And Keegan Delport is fantastic. His PhD is like focused on the tragedy and the transcendence of tragedy. So that is the message of hope of Scripture, that we are able to transcend over tragedy, like the COVID thing, for instance, which is a global tragedy. And then you have Annette's PhD is focused more on the hegemon effect. Very important. I would love to go into that. The rector of the college, Professor Nellis Niemand, providing me opportunities and platform. I literally have to write my own job description. So this is the atmosphere, the context. So before getting to the projects, what I'm busy with right at the moment, let's see. This is maybe just a short one. Yeah. Let me just check here. Okay. So this one goes like this. It's all about freedom. Sun comes up, it's a new day dawning. It's time to sing your song again. Whatever may pass and whatever lies before me, let me be singing when the evening comes. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul. Worship His holy name. Sing like never before. Oh my soul, I'll worship your holy name. Ah, beautiful. Another one goes like this. You unravel me with a melody. You surround me with a song of deliverance from my enemies, till all my fears are gone. I'm no longer a slave to fear, for I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear, for I am a child of God. Yeah, it's all sort of things, but you know, if you now take all of this and you say, so this is very important, Johan, now you must help me. Just tell me if I manage to bring across this message. Sophia, if you can like give me an indication or really ask a question. Oh, by the way, on the Zoom, if you want to post questions, I will answer that afterwards and then send the document with all the questions and my answers, you know, to the whole email list. So take note of that. If you want to participate, you know, send a message about #Integritas. We've got a conference in December. I would like to become involved. I would like to do this. What can I do? Especially when we get to the projects. You know, send a message there. This is the line, Johan. I start with spirituality. Whatever I'm doing is aligned, it's in line. If I work in a township and I do a presentation on a business plan, it's for me the same as going to church. So it's because people sometimes ask, but what has this got to do with that? Because now you're standing on two legs. One is spirituality, the other one is entrepreneurship. You're running between the business school and the theology. You're confused. This is not what people are used to. It's a challenge for their mindset. Do you follow my line, the bridge? That I just don't want to go to church every Sunday. And then not go to a township, become involved with the youth. That's where poverty is at its most. Go to preschool. Go to an old age home. I don't always have to work across the cultural boundary and with black people. There's a lot to do among my white people as well, and I am involved there. But what I'm saying is the most, you know, people in Waterkloof in Pretoria will also complain about poverty. That's a mind thing. But their understanding of poverty is different from what's it in township. And in the South African township, they will complain about poverty with their DSTV dish outside, okay? But that's their connection. What, you want to take that away from them? Can't understand that logic. But now you go to India, and then you say, like the Americans will say, oh my God, you know, completely new perception of what poverty is. And if we can just open ourselves and say, you know what, my understanding of the world is like so limited. It's almost like looking through a keyhole. And if you want exposure, please come join me. It's fantastic. Now listen to this. I've asked if there's any Zulu, yeah, but there's no Zulu, yeah. So let's get into the world of Zulu. Dozy is doing this one, and obviously Sonia Harold did this way back. Jantjie, julle ken hom ons, né? Maar geweet ek kan Zulu praat. Jantjie, Bojakaya, oh Katrina, oh Bimele, Jantjie, Bojakaya, Ekapa, Enalu Tomauleko. Anatsotsi paseka bepanzi, nabafazi batanje mali. Sizo pela kanjani na, singa pela kanjani. Tadi sakla sami, sije pama nueni. Jantjie was the by Panzi. Jantjie, Ojekaya, O Katrina, O Pimele. Jantjie, Ojekaya. Oei, kan julle die verlange hoor? Oei. Ekapa enaluto mauleko. Habatsotsi baseka bepanzi, nabafazi batanje mali. Sizopela kanjani na, singapela kanjani. Tadi sakla sami, sije pama nueni. Jantjie was a kapai panzi. Huh? Aye, man. Ja, weet jy. Jy weet, ek wil nou as ek nou so 'n ding doen soos hierdie, dan verlang ek nou na mense soos Sonia Harold. Is dit nie? Julle ook? Kom ons kyk of sy antwoord. Ja. Mens moet teken sulke goed te doen. Hi, Sonia?
Hallo? Ja.
Hallo Sonia. Hallo. Hoe gaan dit daar?
Gaan dit? Dit gaan goed en met jou?
Baie goed, dankie. Ek is hier in die middel van 'n gig.
As jy in die middel van 'n gig.
Ja,
Sing jy?
so die mense hoor jou. Ek weet net hierso jou klank reg kry, is op loudspreker, so moet nou nie vloek of iets nie, hoor.
Nee, ek sal die word.
Hoorie, Sonja, if you don't mind, I would like to speak English because there's a lot of people online on Zoom as well.
That's fine.
But
That's perfect.
Sonja, you know what? We spoke earlier, and you know this COVID thing and what it's doing to people and the need for people, the emotional need. Can I put you on the spot, like share with us a message?
I'd love to. I'd love to. Thank you for having me on your program. And I'd like to start off in English on behalf of all the people on Zoom. In the movie The Princess Bride, Wesley says to Princess Buttercup, "Highness, life is pain. Anyone who says differently is selling something." But I know that the Bible is definitely not selling us anything, but it's inviting us to an honest look at our human condition. So I've recently buried myself in the book of Psalms, and reading it discovered that it depicted all the human emotions that we experience, which God absolutely understands with empathy, from heartfelt praise to expressions of utter despair and pain, and that's what we are currently definitely experiencing at the moment. And what I'd like to say is that on the cross, Jesus cried out, my God, why have you forsaken me?" Now, I'd like to just to say something to the Afrikaans people. Jesus het vir ons nie net redding gekoop nie, maar hy het ook vir ons as die Here se kinders sekerheid gekoop dat die Here nooit ooit vir ons sal verlaat nie, al gaan dit hoe sleg met ons, want Jesus het dit vir ons in ons plek ervaar. And therein lies my hope and my faith and my trust that if I love God, He'll never, ever, ever forsake me. That's what He says in Hebrews. I will not, in the Amplified Bible, He said, He'll never leave us and forsake us. En in Psalm 5 vers 11 vers 5 sê die Here, tests those who love Him, but those that don't love Him, He just leaves them alone. You'll never know that Jesus is all you need until Jesus is all you have. That's what a friend of mine told me. Andre Timpani, he played with me quite a few years ago, and he wrote a song about that. You'll never know that Jesus is all you need until Jesus is all you have. And He really is a rewarder of them who diligently seek Him. So I just know that without faith, it's impossible to please God. And I just know He'll make a way where there seems to be no way.
Hey Sonja, jy weet, ek het nou net Jantjie gesing, toe dink ek nou aan jou en dit is great. Hoe kry ons jou nou in Wellington, hier by Perfect Place sometime?
Well, just invite me, dan kyk ons of ons so iets kan uitwerk.
Okay, maar,
Dis so baie lekker.
Okay, maar dan moet jy belowe, jy bring vir Mike saam, sal jy?
Wel, ek kan niks sonder hom doen nie, hy is my ander helfte.
Ja.
Of my ander 3/4, so iets, jy weet.
Nee, want ek wil net vir jou sê, kyk, ek weet nie of ek dit al ooit vir jou gesê het nie, maar ek was eintlik verlief op jou gewees toe ek 16 jaar oud was.
Oef, jy vlei my dan nou weer. Nico, dis 'n moer se kompliment, dankie.
Well, ek weet dis ook al die 7de keer dat ek dit vir jou gesê het, maar bring vir Mike saam, dis die condition.
Ek sal so
en die
maak.
ander ding is, ek kry vir julle 'n plek in die retreat center, en ons organise 'n gig hierso by wat se plek staan, Perfect Place.
Ja, dis 'n fantasties wees.
Okay. Ja, Dozy, ek weet julle mense doen net so baie vir ons. Dozy is vanaand 'n Potchefstroom. Maar ek sal hom ook nog hier kry.
Okay. Ja, hy het ook mos jantjie gesing.
Ja,
In
net
Zulu.
nie julle twee saam nie, want jy kuier baie erger as Dozy. Sonja, dankie vir jou tyd. Dankie hoor. Groete vir Mike.
Dankie vir die bel. It was a great pleasure om saam met jou te gesels and God bless everybody on Zoom. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Ai. Sy is maar net 'n besondere mens. Maar nou ja. Dit bring my by. O, waar is Dion nou? Hallo. Hy gaan so originally het hy gesê this is a Greek theater. This is a place that God made. When people die, they come to a place called the Greek theater. Who said that, Kobus, do you know? Neil Diamond, huh? And he said, he's also singing this for the tree people out there. Tree people, I'm singing this for you too. Because people used to climb into trees just to hear him singing at the Greek theater. I suspect that we have got a couple of people in the trees out there. So God bless you, I'm singing for you too. For you who remember Neil Diamond. LA's fine sunshine those of time. And the feelings lay back. Palm trees grow and rain so loud, which now keep thinking about making my way back. Well, I'm New York City born, raised. Nowadays I'm lost between two shores. LA is fine, but it ain't home. New York's home, but it ain't mine no more. I am a saint to no one there, and no one heard at all, not even the chair. I am, I cried, yeah, I am, said I, and I am lost, and I can't even say why. Leaving me lonely still. Did you ever read about a frog who dreamed of being a king and then became one? Well, except for the names and a few other changes, if you talk about me, the story is the same one. But I've got an emptiness deep inside, and I've tried, but it won't let me go. And I'm not a man who likes to swear. I've never cared for the sound of being alone. I am, I said, to no one there, and no one heard at all, not even the chair. I am, I cried, yeah, I am, said I, and I am lost, and I can't even say why. Leaving me lonely still. Home, 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 home. Oh, right. Dion, can we get that projects on there? Please. Oh, can't wait for this. Projects. I just need to bring this to your attention. What projects are we running and how to become involved, etc. Gonna show you this. There's a on. So the first one, please take note of the Beer Nelson campaign. That's going to be a flagship. That's going to be a flagship for project because why? Basically, I can sit here in my office, wherever, and community leaders is going to run this, already doing it in different township areas. If you want to change the mindset, let them take ownership, etc. And what they have to do is to for them to get together and decide on their nominee for a Nelson Mandela personality, living in that township, the legacy of Nelson Mandela. And they are there. And this is the list that I have. Dion, you can optext, but otherwise I'll just show it to you like this. You can come and have a look at this afterwards. This was launched from last year from USA 2020. I communicated with WhatsApp and email and so on. And the community leaders nominated with me because I really wanted to have a say in this with what I experienced during the long walk in those townships. People opened up everything for me. You know, they've played that Nelson role. So this can be an annual thing and it can grow into so many other things like boot camps and leadership development and projects within their own communities. So take note of that. If you want to become involved, let me know. Community walks. We're planning this walk with students of Princeton University and then the community of Wellington, Paul, and who else? A walk. This, what's a parahoof nou weer? Horseshoe, yeah. This horseshoe route that we've got here. And then there's like a team in, or a community in Vietnam. There's a community in Spain who would also like to participate. And there's like other countries now interested in becoming involved. So we're planning this walk. It's not just going to be a walk for fun. It's going to be a meaningful walk with stations, focusing, talking about peace, for instance, or meditation. But we're identifying and I'm working with that with students of Princeton on creating a walk. And then everybody can basically duplicate it and do it in their own communities. Business plan competition, arts, music, poetry, sport. If you're into any of that, get in touch with me. And if you want to ask questions, I've told you on the Zoom, put it in chat. I'll look at the recording, create a document, and answer all your questions. Townships, boot camps. So Gonse there, that you see his name, he's a young guy, he's in his 20s, who wants to do my walk. He's the third person who would like to do the same walk that I did from Pretoria. Gonse, if you're online, just unmute and say hi to people. Is it? He had to leave early. Oh, yeah, you know, running out of data. Sorry. Yeah. But anyway, very eager, very passionate. And, you know, for him to go on our online Zoom is a different thing from us who can afford to come and sit here with perfect places, Wi-Fi. Anyway, so he asked me, this young man, to be his coach. Now, can you imagine? Next thing is Cobus and Johan's going to walk from Pretoria to Cape Town. They're going to ask me to become their coach. You know, it's wonderful. Once a month. And whether it's going to be at perfect place or not, depends on how nice they're going to be to me. But no, joking. I would like to have a venue for a once a month weekend. Not weekend, a once a month meeting. And there's sometimes maybe singing, but not. It's about thinking. And there will be a topic to challenge the mindset and to move forward. And it will obviously also be linked to Zoom. So it's not just like a local thing for Wellington people, but, you know, working on that. I've already told you about the youth's message of the older generation should get rid of their grudges, take that time and energy to facilitate for them opportunities. There's a lot that you can fit into that. So online presence, here at the back, I've got like 2 short courses that I'm working on to present then at as part of Huguenot College and the Spirituality Center. So you can come and have a look at it afterwards. I will also post that online. I'm not going to do it now on the Zoom. But to design a course for spirituality to develop, how do I grow my spiritual intention? How do I grow that? You will find a lot out there, yes. But we've got a specific background and foundation and roots. And so to do it in America, which I'm part of, the Oasis Spiritual Directors, but cultures differ. And you can't take the American program and just bring it here. It won't go down. You have to adjust it according to cultures, like we are used to in South Africa. You can't go with the same thing from the white community to the black community. End of story. So short courses will be presented online. Yeah, then, you know, people just ask me sometimes, what are you actually doing? Now, how do you explain all of this? What do you say? You know, you're everywhere and you're nowhere. So you will get to the book. The book's title is No Fit. You know, you actually don't fit in anywhere, but you fit in everywhere. That's fantastic. That brings me to pilgrims, the pilgrimage. And I have to sing this song for you. I have to do that. And I'm thinking about very particular people in my life, whether it is Cas Weppener, whether it is Jason Shallow from California, whether it is Suen Bain from Korea, and Farad from Pakistan, whether it's that Mexican girl from Hawaii on the Camino in Spain, whether it's the atheist and the agnostic who really cared so much for me on the Camino. Dragos Pratasanu, my roommate at NASA in California. He's online, eh? Dragos.
Yeah, I'm here, Nico.
He promised he will. We got into this car, convertible. We drove from LA to San Francisco. He was raised as a Romanian under the communism regime. And I was raised under the apartheid regime. And can you imagine the stories that you're sharing with each other? We become blood brothers. Velichko, he's from Hungary. Funny guy. So he came as a researcher to the University of Pretoria. So at that stage, I was like running the research house in Pretoria at the university. Stayed there after I got out of Waterkloof Reach congregation and so on. And one day he came home and said, how does this work, this country of yours, you know? Now he's from Hungary. He's now teaching University of Otago in Wellington in New Zealand. But then he was here for research. Velichko. And he said, well, you know, I came from class and there was this people, you know, and they were celebrating. They were dancing and singing and dancing and singing. Can you follow my drift? On campus. So he said, well, that's nice. And he went to join and he was also kicking and shouting. And, you know, they learned him and they were really enjoying that a lot. And he came home and he said, oh, that was a lot of fun. And then he asked the people, you know, when they were done with that, he said, that was nice. What are we celebrating? They said, no, we're not celebrating. We're protesting. He said, how does this country work? I mean, how does it work? Now, can you imagine now you sit there, I'm a South African, they know that, they all come back to the questions, with questions to me. How do you explain that to them? You know, they're actually angry. Now tell me, that's not something to appreciate of this country. The way that we protest make other people think that we celebrate. Yeah, great stuff. So, a couple of people playing a role in my life. But a pilgrim is not a holy person. A pilgrim is not like, yeah, he's not always the same. So this song really got to me. See him wasted on the sidewalk, in his jacket and his jeans, wearing yesterday's misfortune like a smile. Once he had a future full of money, love and dreams, which he spent like they was going out of style. And he keeps right on changing for the better or the worse, searching for a shrine he never found. Never knowing believing is a blessing or a curse, of the going up was with the coming down. He's a poet, he's a speaker, he's a prophet, he's a pusher, he's a pilgrim and a preacher, and a problem when he's stoned. He's a walking contradiction, partly truth and partly fiction, taking every wrong direction on his lonely way back home. He has tasted good and evil in your bedroom and your bars, just traded in tomorrow for today. Running from his devil's lord and reaching for the stars, and losing all his love along the way. But if this world keep on turning for the better or the worse, and all he gets is older and around, from the rocking of his cradle to the rolling of the hearse, the going up is with the coming down. He's a poet, he's a speaker, he's a prophet, he's a liar, he's a pilgrim and a preacher, and a problem when he's stoned. He's a walking contradiction, partly truth, partly fiction, taking every wrong direction on his lonely way back home. I can just see them, and I always will go talk to them. The most interesting conversations that you can imagine. You know, a very special one is going for my colleague, Professor Erwin Schweller, on his request. This one's got a lot of meaning for him, and what can I say? But you must talk to them. I think about my buddy George. You can watch on Facebook. You will see I was like next to George celebrating his 50th. And he was the champion poker player of South Africa. He just came back from Vegas and he participated in the global poker. This is what pilgrims do. You know, you like everywhere. Yeah, you like everywhere. So George and his wife Karen in Joburg, fantastic Greek people. Don't play with George Poker. He's the South African champion. Anyway, there's a photo somewhere on Facebook about it. On a warm summer's evening, train bound to nowhere, I met up with the gambler. We were both too tired to sleep. So we took turns at staring into darkness at the window. Boredom overtook us, and he began to speak. He said, son, I've made my life through reading people's faces, knowing what the cards were by the way they held their eyes. And if you don't mind me saying, I can see you out of aces. Good taste of your whiskey, I'll give you some advice. So I handed him my bottle, and he drank down my last swallow. He bummed the cigarette, and asked me for a light. And the night got deathly quiet, and his face lost all expression. Said, "If you're gonna play the game, boy, you got to play it right. You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never count your money. You're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting when the deal is done." Now every gambler knows the secret to surviving is knowing what to throw away and knowing what to keep. 'Cause every hand's a winner and every hand's a loser. The best you can hope for is to die in your sleep. And when he finished speaking, he turned back to the window, crushed out cigarette and faded off to sleep. And somewhere in the darkness, gambler he broke even. But in his final words, "I found an ace that I could keep." You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the deal is done. Man. Dis natuurlik die wonderlike ding van hierdie plek, you know, Wellington. You can ask anyone, to sing with you. It's amazing, this place. So, take for instance, where's the owner? Vicky, please come join me here. You see, you can just call the owner and he can come and sing with you from nowhere. This is why Wellington is like sweet Wellington. Your mic. There you go. There you go. Het jy hoor by jou? Well, okay. All right.
Ek moet net 'n stukkie by.
Yeah, you could just put words in front of them and there they go. We didn't practice, so let's see how it goes. But this is the owner, and yeah, it's good to have you with me. We're going to do this song. Which one is the oldest now? Dr de Klerk or Richard van der Westhuizen? I think Dr. Yeah, you Dr. then. And then I'll be Richard van der Westhuizen. Ek wonder wat van jou geword het. Jy wat by so by my spook. Ek weet het ons die vuur gemaak, die wêreld aan die brand gestook. Nou is die nagte soveel stiller, die dae eisel eie tol. Maar ons twee was die wille wind se blare. Ons kaartjies lê die hele wêreld vol. Tussen treine, tussen stasies, lê daar basies, net die leë spore. Tussen treine, tussen stasies, lê die leë spasies, van die onskuld nou verlore. Nou vra ek waar het alles begin? You see, you can't stop there. Die ding van los wees voor die wind. Onthou jy ook die rook, die yster, die lig wat in die verte blink. Dan dink ek terug aan soveel dae, soveel sawe op die spoor. Ja, daar was voor hierdie tyd van treine. Waar en wanneer het ons dit verloor? Tussen treine, tussen stasies, lê daar basies, net die leë spore. Tussen treine, tussen stasies, net die leë spasies, van die onskuld nou verlore. Dankie. Dankie. That is a massive. It's off. Just to. All right. The next one is Susan. So Susan is going to join me now for a song. Okay. Dion, can you just put the slide on there, the photo of the Long Walk Books front page? So when I was like in America, then the book was written about the Long Walk, and you see there on the screen now the page of the front page. Now I've submitted this to an author's platform, to the editors, to different people, also funders in America, and everybody is just happy with this painting. But what I would like to share with you is that this is actually the work of my daughter. She gave it to me after the walk and as a gift. So yeah, I've got like two lovely daughters who are really very supportive and into all of this that I'm busy with, which I'm very grateful for. So that's the book. And then the other thing is the Educated Zebra Foundation for their sponsorship for this book, and I trust it will be like ready dated during this year. So being published in America, and then obviously it will also be translated and distributed in South Africa. This is going to take, you know, a lot of this to a different level. Then I would like to get to the more personal side. You know, I would like to sing my mama's song and my daughter's song as part of this. So, you know, it's an hour and a half. So I'm really grateful for everybody's presence. You're all and welcome to stay on Zoom. But I do thank you. And obviously I will appreciate each and every one of your feedback, whether it's like on the chat or email. We are all connected, and I really appreciate your presence and feedback. And then obviously the CEO of Masterpiece in Netherlands for your contribution and participation, as well as Sonia Harold. That was a very nice surprise, I can promise you, for everybody present, for your message to them. And also then the Huguenot College, Professor Nielis Niemand, the rector, and Professor Erwin Schweller, and Frederik Marais, Dr. Frederik Marais from Theology, University Stellenbosch. Fantastic, guys. Going to do a last song, and then one for Master's song that I'm going to share with people high up in the mountains of KwaZulu-Natal. I know they phoned last night and they're going to be connected, so they're waiting for that song. And my daughter's song. But this one, and this one is like in Afrikaans. I think the three next songs will be in Afrikaans, yeah. So God bless to all of you who's still online. Thank you. Dis Matthys Roots. Nou Matthys Roots en sy broer Jaco is baie goeie vriende ook. Ek het gisteraan met Jaco gepraat en ek en Jaco werk baie hard saam. Jaco en Roots, maar onthou vir meisie Roots hulle mos. Maar in elk geval Matthys Roots, hulle het saam tot skool gegaan. So dis 'n baie ou vriendskappe, maar dit is sy liedjie in my lewe en dit was na sy ongeluk en al die drama wat in sy lewe gebeur het. Is die klank reg, Dion? In my lewe het ek groot geword in die middelklas van die blanke ras. In my lewe het ek foute gemaak, dit was die eerste ding waaroor ek moes sing in my lewe. As jy mooi na hierdie woorde luister, dit tref bietjie diep, is dit nie? In my lewe het ek skool gegaan en Afrikaans gepraat, dit was 'n voelvry pad. In my lewe het ek 'n mens verdink, dit was die hardste ding waaroor ek moes sing in my lewe. Net soos gister, net soos nou, is daar dinge en baie mense waarvan ek hou. Maar ek sukkel nog met my hart, jy wissel nog gedurig van warm na koud. In my lewe, in my lewe het ek die eystervys van die mag gevoel, blykbaar my deel gedoen. In my lewe het ek die dood gesien, dit was die swaarste ding waaroor ek moes sing in my lewe. Net soos gister, net soos nou, is daar dinge en baie mense waarvan ek hou. Maar ek sukkel nog met my hart, jy wissel nog gedurig van warm na koud. In my lewe, in my lewe het ek die States gesien, het ek Parys gesien, ek wil die reis nog sien. In my lewe het ek my lief gevind, sy was die mooiste ding waaroor ek moes sing in my lewe. In my lewe het ek als probeer en solank ek leef, sal ek alles gee. In my lewe het ek 'n mens verloor, dit was die laaste ding waaroor ek nog sing in my lewe. Net soos gister, net soos nou, is daar dinge en baie mense waarvan ek hou. Maar ek sukkel met my hart, jy wissel nog gedurig van warm na koud in my lewe. You have a huge privilege, a blessing, when you can say, the next song is going to be for my mother. And having my mother present there at the age of 81, you know, and this morning she drove from Bloemberg and I phoned her. And she spoke with me all the way. And then I said, well, who's driving? And she said, I'm driving. Okay, mother, 81. You speak to me while driving, and what else are you doing? You know, that's my mother. And I've got dear friends, Annetjie Wessels. So ek weet wat die song vir haar beteken. Haar ma en my ma is uit dieselfde geboortedag. So dis ook vir die Wesselse van Siyakolwa, high up in the mountains of KwaZulu-Natal. Ek wil vir my 'n droomvanger kry, want daar's 'n droom wat ek wil vang vir my, met jou lag bloetjies om jou oë, en daar die lyfie voorhoor geboor, en hierdie song is net vir jou geskryf, my ma. As ek na die hemel staar, dan sien ek jou net daar, verbrande hande en haar skoot, diepe denker, een van haar soort, wil net die beste gee vir haar kinders, en dis wat sy haar lewe doen. En hierdie song is net vir jou geskryf, my ma. As ek na die hemel staar, dan sien ek jou net daar. Kan ek onthou die ferm lesse van die lewe, vasgepen, die grootste les van my ma, is dat ek trots is, dat God my God is. Dion, daai Zoom hardloop nog, né? Okay, before en voor almal alles uit hardloop, tyd en daad en die en daai, my twee dogters se sang. Ek gaan nie lewendig aan die kant uitkom sonder dit nie. En dit kom nie van hulle af nie, dit is my eie consciousness. Ek het ook 'n consciousness, jy weet. So it goes like this. Hulle name is natuurlik Sonika en Lise. Sonika is in Spanje in Madrid en sy luister nou, en Lise hulle is in George. Eers was alles donker. Om my was dit nag. Toe begin 'n liggie flonker. En skielik was dit dag. En die nag het gekom, maar die son het gebly. En die branders het stom oor die rotse gegly. En die reënboog se glans van die maan het gedans. En die wêreld was bly oor die nuwe gety. En die rede is jy, Sonika, jy. en die dag het gekom, want die donker is dood, en die lig is alom, en waar lig is hoop, ook al word die hart bang, vir die jare se gang, en die vreugde sal bly, al gaan alles verby, want die vreugde is jy, Lize, dis jy. En die vreugde sal bly, en die vreugde sal bly, al gaan alles verby, want die vreugde is jy, Sonika, jy, Lize, en jy. I think it's time to call it a day. Thank you so much. Vir almal wat aanlyn is en so nog steeds, baie dankie en ag, ek hoop julle het almal mooi tye en just bless you. Dankie baie. Ek kan julle 'n brief gee as ek nou eers 'n breek gevat het, ek gaan definitief nog sing en of dit nou hier is en of julle sluit en of ek terug gaan huis toe, my ma slaap daar, ons gaan daar ook nog sing. Definitief gaan ek nog sing, maar miskien moet ek sê nou eers 'n breek vat. Jy weet, hoe lank is dit al? Is 'n uur en 'n half of wat? So, nee, is langer nog. Ek is bly jy is op die so baie tyd. Sien nie by die huis. Okay. Sy's getroud met een van my studentevriende, kan jy glo? Stap ek ewe onskuldig hier in hierdie plek in en dan loop ek in hulle vas. So, ag ja. Dis great dat jy hier